We're going to be talking today about how to stop comparing yourself to other people. This is a big sticky topic for lots of people, right? We all have fallen into this trap at one point or another. I don't know anyone who hasn't. And I want to share with you, just before we go into some steps to how to stop comparing yourself, that not only does everybody kind of experience this to some extent, but it's almost like we're set up to do so. So I want to rattle your cage about this a little bit and to get you to see how this happens, because I don't want you to be a puppet to society and to messaging that's coming at you and to the way that modern life is set up, which is a trap for people to fall into. And the whole point of being conscious and aware and the kind of messages that I'm sharing with you here at Pinch Me Living, how to master your mind, live consciously and soul aligned, is that you are not a puppet to whatever's going on around you, to other people, to the way that you've been conditioned, the way that you've been raised, that you can live your gig, the way that you want to live, to walk your own path, to feel great about it, to have freedom, right? Freedom from the inside out. So here's the thing about how we get conditioned. You're raised to see that success looks a certain way, success talks a certain way, success dresses a certain way, success has XYZ things in their life. Success is a particular path and it fits a particular mold. Now, if you're raised with that notion, and it doesn't mean that it was something that was consciously put upon you, but you're a child and you're just absorbing the world around you and you're starting to listen to what you hear, what you see, what people are saying to you, what they're saying to each other, and you're making up your mind when you're young about what success looks like. So then you grow up and you have that model in your mind and you know that you need to be that in order to be successful. What happens then is, if you are not that, if you don't look like that, if you don't talk like that, if you don't work like that, if you do not have those XYZ things, there's a subconscious thing in you that is like, well, I don't have that, therefore something's wrong with me, therefore I'm not successful, and I start comparing myself to other people. And here are the two things, aside from the way that you're raised and what you're absorbing and what you've been conditioned to believe as you've been growing up, that causes issues now on a daily basis. One, advertising. Advertising is literally everywhere and it is in your face. You might not even realize how much subconsciously you're picking up from advertising messages in all sorts of mediums and all sorts of ways as you go about your day, and it is putting in your face what it is to be good and successful. And if you see that and you're not that, a part of you deep down knows that there's some kind of gap, right? And what you might do is you start comparing yourself to other people that look like that model of success, or to the thing that you are seeing in advertising and in the media that says that's what success looks like. And what do? You feel bad about yourself, right? Let's just make it blunt, plain and simple. And so as a result, you start to continuously compare yourself, feel worse about yourself, and you get stuck in this awful cycle. The second thing that might be in your face day to day that perpetuates this problem, it's not for everybody because some people have woken up to this, but social media is chronic for people ending up in a situation where they feel bad about themselves and they compare themselves to other people. And sometimes it's very, very conscious, and sometimes it's very subtle, and you don't really even know that it's happening to you. You just know that you don't feel great and you're kind of doing this unconscious comparison with other people. Here's what I want to say about that. Most people share on social media their best days and their best selves and their best outcomes and their best thoughts. People are, generally speaking, not throwing out there the truth about how they really feel, their bad feelings, their bad days, their challenges, their life issues. Very natural. But the trap you fall into is you compare your worst days with someone else's best days. You're not comparing apples with apples, right? For all intents and purposes, you're comparing apples with carrots. You want to know that what you're seeing out there is either A, in advertising, a fake model of success and perfection, or B, in social media, is often just the best side that people want to put forward. And it leads you to think that if you're not feeling and experiencing that on a regular, consistent basis, then maybe there's something wrong with you. You start comparing yourself, leads you into a very dangerous place. And interesting, before we go into some tips about how to stop comparing yourself to other people, I just want to point out this. The world has gotten to a point now where it's not really interested in fake. The world is mostly interested in authenticity now. And when I say the world, I mean you and me and everybody else watching this video and anyone else having conscious conversations. People crave realness. They crave authenticity. You don't want to be sold fake messages. You don't want to hear one side of the story. I don't either. And that is why authenticity is so popular now as a topic. Like, how can I be authentic? How can I have integrity? How can I be real? You enjoy realness and authenticity in other people when you see it because it's human and you connect to it and you feel akin to it. You can smell fake coming a mile away, right? You don't want to be sold all of that stuff. So I just want you to be very consciously aware whenever you're seeing people and you're reading messages and you notice advertising and you're on your social media, what is authentic and real and what is not. Don't fall into the trap of buying into this illusion that things are perfect for other people and that you're not and that there's something wrong with you as a result. Okay, so let's talk now about some practical things to help you stop comparing yourself to other people. Number one, comparing yourself to other people is not the root cause problem. That is a symptom of something else. It is a symptom of the fact that you are not comfortable with yourself. If you were comfortable with yourself and you loved where you were at and you were feeling really good about yourself and you're feeling good about your life and you'd consciously chosen to believe in yourself and trusting in where you're at and embracing yourself with all your quirks, flaws and weaknesses and loving yourself no matter what and accepting it and owning the life that you're in, you wouldn't fall victim to that constant cycle of comparing yourself to other people, because you'd be like, well, there they are, that's really awesome for them, I like what they're doing, that's cool, and I also like who I am, and I also like where I'm at. So it wouldn't lead you to feel so bad about yourself when you get caught in that. So when you want to stop comparing yourself to other people, you just want to go to the root cause, okay? It's not like just saying to yourself, stop, just stop it, and then getting angry at yourself if you continue doing it. It's because you're trying to put a sticking plaster on a wound where the sticking plaster is not going to work. You want to peel that back and look at what the root cause issue is. So I encourage you to make a list of all the things that you regularly believe, think, and feel about yourself and your life which are negative. Yep, you're going to put your attention on the negative. You're going to write it down, because if you don't identify it, how can you resolve it? You want to know, what do I believe that is limiting about myself and about my life? What do I think about consistently that keeps coming back, that's not very pleasant? I don't want to think those negative things about myself and my life. And how am I feeling about those things? You want to know what they are so that you can flip them and resolve them. If you have healthy beliefs, if you have healthy thoughts about yourself and they're genuine, you have a stable, secure sense of yourself. You're less likely to feel bad and to waver and to get caught in that comparison cycle. Whenever you're more comfortable with yourself, you're much less likely to get caught up in any kind of negative talk about what other people are doing, what other people have, what other people have achieved, and then getting down on yourself as a result of that, like somehow you're not there yet. A really quick way to check your beliefs and your thoughts in terms of what might be causing you an issue is just to say, what do I believe I'm not enough of? And what do I believe my life is not enough of? So my body is not enough something, I'm not smart enough, I'm not wealthy enough, I'm not successful enough, my career is not X enough, my life is not fun enough, my relationships are not loving enough. What is it? There's something that you think is not enough in yourself or in your life. Name them. Those are the beliefs and thoughts that will be plaguing you. Even if they're not right at the surface, they're probably there niggling you underneath, which is driving that cycle. Now I'm going to put a link with this video to other resources that will help you with how to change your thoughts and tips for getting unstuck with that kind of negative process that you're caught within. If you want to powerfully transform it, you can join me for my Master Your Mind program. It is designed for that exact thing. Changing your beliefs and changing your thought processes so that they are powerful, they give you a secure and stable sense of yourself, and they work for you, not against you. So I'll also put a link to that if you're interested in joining us for the next upcoming program. Now, the third thing I want to share with you about how to stop comparing yourself to other people is to realize that when you're comparing yourself to somebody else, there is a high probability that the reason you're comparing yourself is because you see within them manifest the potential you have within yourself. So something about how they're being or what they're doing and how they're living is resonating with you, and you know it's available to you. But what happens is, instead of that being exciting and filled with possibility, it takes a negative twist and becomes comparison and makes you feel bad. What you want to do is just notice when you do compare yourself to other people, what is it that they're experiencing that you really actually would like for yourself? Because you can use this negative comparison to your advantage. What is it showing you that you would like for yourself and for your life? This is really, really powerful. Often when we're envious, we're jealous, we're judging people and comparing ourselves, it's because we see in the other person reflected something that we have within us which has not been harnessed yet. What we want to do is, it's not about them. Take the attention off them completely and turn it all back on yourself and go inside of yourself and say, how can I use this to elevate me, to motivate me, to my benefit, so that I am believing in that potential for me? Like they are experiencing it. They are a beautiful demonstration from the universe standing in front of me that that's possible, that health is possible, that relationship is possible, that success is possible, that career is possible, that financial situation is possible, that happiness is possible. Whatever it might be that you're comparing yourself with them about, maybe the universe has served them up to show you it's real and available to you. How about that as a twist on it? Turn back on yourself, look inside and say, is that something I'd like for myself? And if so, ask yourself, what would I need to believe? What would I need to think? What would I need to feel? And what would I need to do in order to make that possible for me, in order to bring that into actuality for me? And again, that's about honing your own mindset, training your beliefs, training your thoughts. So you can check out the other resources in the Master Your Mind program if you want help with that. But it's about saying, I can use this to leverage myself into something that's really meaningful and important to me. Not because they've got it and so I should have it, but if I genuinely feel I want that, why can't I? And the answer is you can. But you have to use this, turn the negative into a positive and use it to your advantage. The next tip about how to stop comparing yourself to other people is just to be really wary of how, when you compare yourself to other people, it might be someone that you really, really admire. Okay, so it's not just some passing thing, but somebody that you admire, that you look up to, that you respect. Maybe you feel a bit of envy and jealousy and you watch them, okay? And so there's a really positive aspect in that, and that you do admire and respect what they're doing. But what I want you to be very aware of and very careful with is this. Don't idolize other people and their life and their path and everything they're doing and everything they've got and who they're being. Don't idolize them and put them on a pedestal. What you want to do is go, I am equal to that. I am that powerful inside of me. And they have their path. That's not my path. If that was my path, I would have been born in that path. This is my path. I own who I am, I own where I stand, and I'm choosing to accept this path because something great is available to me in this path. That's why I was born with this name, with this personality, when I was born, where I was born, with all my gifts and talents, with all my quirks, flaws and weaknesses. I am this amazing creature and I am born this way for a reason, and I want to own my path so I can respect, admire and adore and love people that are doing amazing things in the world, but I will not compare myself to them. Instead, I will bless that which they are and that which they have because I want that for myself. So we bless it because we want that for ourselves. So we lift it up and we feel it in gratitude and joy and happiness instead of it being a negative thing. But then put all the focus back on yourself again and say, I own my path. I'm not them for a reason. And who I am is as beautiful and equal to the people that I admire, respect and elevate. Don't downplay yourself. You want to own your power. Which leads to the next point I want to make, which is keep your eyes on the road. What happens is when we start comparing ourselves to other people is you're being lost and looking at what's going on around you, what everyone else is doing, or who's watching what you're doing. If you're driving the car of your life, then if you don't keep your eye on the road, what happens? What happens when you don't keep your eye on the road when you're driving? You crash. You'll crash mentally, you'll crash emotionally, you'll crash physically. You'll end up in some random destination by accident because you didn't have your eyes on your path. You were too busy watching where everyone else was driving, right? They're driving in a direction that works for them because that's their path. That's not your path. What you want to do is say, what do I want for my life? What's important and meaningful to me? Don't take what other people think are meaningful and important, then make that your goal. Really listen to your own intuition. What's important to me? What makes me feel good? What do I value? What do I want to spend my time and energy doing? At the end of my life, what do I want to be able to look back and say, I did, felt, experienced, and created for myself? That is then your GPS, and then you're going to keep your eye on that, keep your eye on your own road. You know what? Sometimes it comes down to having a little bit of faith and the fact that you're here on this journey, you're a soul, you're more than just this mind and body, you're in a universe that supports you, you're feeling these intuitive nudges, you've got powerful potential within you, but you've got to trust in it. Okay? People out there, they don't have anything different to you. They might be in different circumstances, but you have these circumstances for a reason. There is something available to you right where you stand for your learning and growth and for your contribution on this life journey. You have to trust that. It comes down to having a bit of faith. When you have faith in that, you stop comparing yourself to other people because you know you're right where you need to be, right time, right place, learning what you need to learn. You accept that there is an unfolding path in your life, and that there's magic happening for you, even if it's challenging, even if you don't have everything you want right now. But it's about having that faith in the unfolding process of your life. And final 2 quick tips. I want you to celebrate yourself. If you're comparing yourself to other people, it's time to just douse yourself in love. Go and write a list of everything that you love about yourself, all your strengths, everything that's happened to you in your life, everything you've achieved, big, small, past, present. Write that list and celebrate who you are. You need to lift yourself up, okay? We're breaking down the comparison cycle and we're lifting you up. We're building you up. You have to do it for yourself. No one is going to come along to save you from the cycle. You have to take ownership of it for yourself. And in addition to celebrating yourself, take some action. Take some action that is going to empower you. Take actions that will make you feel great about yourself. Take actions to create what you want in your life. Ultimately, if you don't like where you're at and who you are and how you feel about yourself, or in the results in your life, action will change it. Action in mastering your mind, action in taking control of the cycle, action in achieving your goals, whatever it is. But it has to come from the inside out. Ultimately, you will be in action when you have a more stable sense of yourself, when you start to love yourself, you start to accept yourself, you start to celebrate yourself. So I hope these tips have been useful to help you stop comparing yourself to other people, to break that cycle down and build yourself up. If it has been, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe with me if you're here on social media. And I am looking forward to sharing more daily inspiration with you really soon.